Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, sister. So you've written into us about some difficulties that you're facing with your husband's family at the moment. Alhamdulillah, you seem to be getting on well with them generally, but you have difficulties with a couple of his aunts at the moment, and you don't feel that they're very interested in you, and you feel like they're being very rude, and that's making things very difficult, especially because you want to have good relationships, not only with your own family, but with your husband's family as well. So alhamdulillah, you're trying your best now to try and fix things with the family, but you still feel like she's being rude to you at the moment. So I think the first thing we need to look at really is the fact that you're from different cultures, and people have different ways of showing their dislike, for example, towards other people in different cultures. And on the other hand as well, we also from another culture might be interpreting their behavior as rude when actually it's not. That's just part of their normal way of being. So just like you feel that maybe she's being rude towards you, she might also feel like you're being rude towards her too, because you're not behaving in a way that would be typical to their culture as well. Now, the way it reads is like it's quite a new marriage. So it does take time to get to know each other as well. Not only do you need to get to know them and what would be kind of the normal behavior for them, for you to be able to identify whether their behavior really is rude or whether that's just the way she's always been and it's the way things always will be. She also needs time to get to know you as well. So, you know, maybe if she is being rude or seemingly rude, maybe that's all just part of the getting to know you process, because she doesn't know you yet and she doesn't want to open herself up to you to show, you know, her full character, because she doesn't know you yet. And that's just part of her modesty, that she just wants to hold back a bit as she gets to know you before she kind of opens herself up. And that's all part of the process of getting to know someone. But if you can understand this and see this as a potential explanation for her behavior, it will help you feel a bit more comfortable as well being around her. Because if you're feeling like she's being rude, it might be that you are also changing your behavior, maybe unconsciously, towards her, because you're thinking that she's being rude to you, so you behave in a certain way that might also then be perceived as rude to her as well. So consider how your feelings are affecting your behavior towards her as well. But also look towards is there any other evidence that you have to suggest that she's not interested in you, that she doesn't like you, that she's not interested in getting to know you? Is there anything else that she's doing? Does she behave like this with everybody else in the room, or is it just you? I mean, if it is just you, maybe this is part of the getting to know you process. Or maybe this is the way she's behaving with everyone and this is just the way she is. And what you could do as well is, considering your husband is obviously from the same background, he would know her a lot better than you do. You can ask him if this would be behavior that's normal to her, or whether he's noticing that she's treating you somehow differently. So you can know as well from an outside eye as well. Like I said, it might be just your way of perceiving things. So asking someone else to verify whether what you're perceiving is what they are as well would help to clarify whether she really is being rude to you or not. And to go to, you mentioned some words there at the end that even if you learnt the language, you don't think it would make a difference. And this almost indicates that you have this expectation that you think that she would never think that you are, you know, good enough, or she would never be interested in you no matter what you do. And the fact that you have this conception already before you've even tried that kind of makes it seem like, you know, you have this idea of who she is and how she feels towards you, and you're not kind of open to any change. So that would also indicate that maybe this could be down to, the whole thing could be down to some kind of misunderstanding, the way you've actually written the query there. So definitely I would recommend opening yourself up to other possible explanations for the behavior. Not that she's being rude, but there are so many other reasons behind it. Like I said, you're from different cultures, maybe that's just her way of being. Or if she is a little bit rude, maybe that's part of her holding back on getting to know you just yet, because it's a new relationship, she's getting to know you, and she might be a shy person that doesn't want to open herself up to you just yet. So there are different explanations. So I think the way you've written your query there would definitely indicate that you should firstly look back at your own perceptions. First of all, obviously that's not to say that she is not being rude, but that's where you, first of all, look at yourself, examine your own perceptions of the situation first, and other ways in which you can view it, rather than just the way you think it is. And, you know, on top of examining this within yourself, ask your husband as well to give you a good outline of how she is and whether he's feeling the same. And then once you've done this, once you've examined your own self and asked somebody to, you know, contribute to this as well, who can give a different viewpoint, this is when you can now work on practically fixing the situation if it is a case that she is being rude to you. So first of all, this would be by continuing to make an effort with her to get to know her. Even if she, you know, pushes you away 1 or 2 or 3 times, you know, sometimes it takes time. So you need to be patient with it and continually making these efforts with her. And even beyond this, if this doesn't work or you feel it's not doing anything, ask somebody else to come and, you know, you say you get on with, you know, you have your husband and other members of the family, ask them to come and help out as well, join in together. Ask your husband or his family members to speak to her about it. Maybe she doesn't realize that she's being rude or coming across as rude. But first of all, like I said, look back at yourself first before making these moves forward. So inshallah, things will get better with time. It just takes a bit of effort looking at yourself and looking at other ways to approach the situation. So may Allah make it easy for you. May He bring happiness and contentment between you and His family. Ameen.